Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I bring to you this live free dog training Q&A session where nothing is off limits when it comes to the behaviors of your dog. Unwanted behaviors, bad behaviors, whatever it may be. So, with that being said, if you're watching now live in living color, please put your comments in. Let me know where you're watching from. Uh, Give me a shout out. If you're watching later on the replay, of course, do the same thing. The more comments I get during the live, guys, the more jacked up and pumped I get, and the more we can help people out. So, with that being said, we're going to start off with a topic of the week, like I always do, until I start seeing some questions coming up. Good morning, Sandy from the Bronx. Welcome. So, guys, I talk every week about how we need to check our own energy. We need to really look internally, see how we're reacting, because that's how our dogs are going to be reacting. And I also been talking recently about it's okay to slow it down to get the process right. And that is so, so crucial. I've been getting a lot of people talking to me, asking questions, and they say, we got to the threshold, and he or she comes out of the door, and they come out like a lady and a gentleman, and then once we start to walk, it's just game on, with the excitement. It is totally okay at that point just to stop. Guys, stop, regroup, check your own energy, center yourself. When you're in a calm state of mind and your dog is in a calm state of mind, go, then continue the walk. But even if you only get one step, it's a win. Even if you get one step where your dog just follows you for that one step, it is a win. I'm actually loaded up a video to show you guys in a few minutes of we've talked about Ace, the German Shepherd puppy, and Will, his dad. And he sent me a video of him walking Ace at 14, 15 weeks old. And, it can happen, guys. It's okay. And when you watch Will's video, and I hope the sound comes through because I don't know, he had to recheck himself. He used different words. I'll let him explain his words to get the walk that he wanted with this 14, 15-week-old puppy, to have that off leash, loose leash experience. So, and what it was is Will needed to take a step back, recenter everything, check his leash, check his own energy, check Ace's energy, and as soon as he regrouped himself, Ace succeeded. So I'm going to load up that video, guys, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. Hopefully I can actually get this thing to work right. So we're going to put this up, and here we go. And I guess I got to hit play somehow. There we go. I don't know if the sound is coming through. I have no clue. But basically, what Will is saying is he had to recheck himself. It was real important to him to recheck himself. Guys, let me know in the comments if the sound is coming through. I don't think it is. No sound. Okay. I'm not sure how to make that happen. Let me try doing this. Hold on one second. If I can make it the full screen and take myself off there. I don't know what happened there, guys. So with the sound, but basically what Will was saying, and it is in his words, they had a come to Jesus moment where he was struggling with the walk. Ace was being a typical puppy and trying to explore everything, pull, change sides, do everything that you really don't like we don't like when we're walking our dogs. Um, so he checked himself to check Ace. And what I mean by that is he looked inside. What was going on inside of him? What was Will's energy? And he realized he was a little tense about the walk. So he relaxed himself. He channeled his energy. He had that Zen moment. He readjusted the leash up high behind the ears. That's one of the things, guys, when we talk about trying to get control of our dogs. If you can keep the leash high up behind the ears, you will have much better control of your dog. When the collar or the leash is down on the lower part of the neck, that's the strongest part, one of the strongest parts of the dog. It's very hard to have control. If you're using a harness and the harness goes across their chest and you have the leash in the back towards the middle of their back, you don't have any control of the dog. Harnesses are great if a dog has a trachea problem. If the dog does not have a trachea problem, you shouldn't be using harnesses for anything other than seatbelting them into the car. You're better off with a simple slip leash or a martingale collar that you keep high, tight behind the ears. This way, when you make a correction, you're correcting just the head, not the whole body. When you use a harness, you're correcting the whole entire body. So when you make your leash correction, you pop of the leash on a harness, you're correcting the dog's entire body. Not easy to do. And again, if you keep in mind that harnesses were designed for tracking and pulling purposes, you're actually at a disadvantage from the get-go. Um, if you don't want to put something maybe directly on the throat, you can get something called a gentle leader that goes lightly around the muzzle. So again, when you make the correction, you're correcting the head of the dog, which is what's causing the problem. It's not the body of the dog pulling; it's the mind of the dog that's pulling. So if you can learn just to correct the mind, the body will follow. But again, what does it come down to? It comes down to you believing in my 4 C's of training, the calm, confidence to get consistency. Um, you have to really believe in that calm confidence. If you're not calm, you're not confident, your dog will sense it. And that's what Will was trying to say in his video. Ace wasn't doing anything but what a puppy would do. It was Will's energy that was creating Ace's unwanted behaviors. And by the way, good morning, Joyce, and good morning, Nancy. I forgot to give you a shout out after the comments. Um, so, again, if you're going to bring your dog into a situation, be it walking on the street, bring them to, now that the nice weather's getting here, the kids are out there, we got lacrosse going on, baseball, softball, soccer, whatever else is going on. You know, the ultimate goal is to bring our dogs with us to these events. But one, don't rush the process with the dogs. Everything is well here, Joyce. Hope all is well with you. Um, when we're introducing our dogs, now that the nice weather's here, and we're going to take them hopefully to the kids or the grandkids' soccer games and whatever games out there, you know, the first few times you bring a dog to these events, don't just bring them right to the area where everybody is gathering. It's overwhelming. We're putting them in situations where, as much as I say we got to set them up for success, if I brought, and I'm going to use Ace as the example, to a soccer field, I wouldn't bring him right to where everybody is. What I would do is, once I got out of the car, probably walk around the perimeter a little bit where we can see people, they're at a distance, okay, we're curious about them, that's okay, and slowly bring the gap together. Reason being is it eases them into a situation. I don't like when we flood our dogs with situations that can make them unsure. When we do, we can actually set them up and set up for success for failure, because then if we, using again the puppy as an example, if I brought Ace right to a soccer field and I brought him right where all the parents are gathering, there's kids running around, Ace is probably going to become very insecure and want to hide behind me. And then the normal human reaction is everybody's going to be, oh my God, the poor baby, look at him, he's scared, blah, 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 blah. And that's not going to help him move forward. So when I do things like that, I bring them slowly to the event. And, it's worth it. I may miss some of the soccer game or the baseball game or the softball game or whatever. I may miss some of it, but I'm there also to help my dog. So I've been using both harness and collar to retrain an abusive pup. I find it gives him security. Yeah, and that works. If that works, guys, like I said, I have ideas in my head and they work for me. But if you come up with a solution that works for your dog, by all means, use it. You know, so if you use both the harness and the leash, and there's nothing wrong with using both apparatuses. Um, the harness gives almost like a security blanket to the dog if it's on right, which could help calm them down, especially if they're an abused dog. Um, but the ultimate control is definitely with the head. The harness gives them a little bit more sense of security. And again, if you go through these situations, that my ultimate goal, Joyce, would be that you don't need the harness except for seatbelt the dog in the car, and you're just walking on a loose leash with a collar on. And like I said, use martingales or slip lead, something that won't just pop over the dog's head. Um, and that works really well. One of the things I tell people with young kids is use a two leash system. Um, if what I do with that is, we put the slip leash or the martingale on the dog, adult handles that. We have the kid standing in front of us, we clip their leash onto the harness. The adult is still making the correction, but the dog's perception is the child's making the correction if they're doing something we don't like. And the beauty of that is, one, everybody's safe. Dog's perception is, oh, if this kid's the pack leader, I have to follow their directions too. It's a psychological game. It works very well. I have some posts on my Facebook page showing a 7-year-old walking a 100-pound German Shepherd with grandpa behind, holding one leash. The kid has another leash, but the dog's perception is the kid's walking it. And it worked wonders. They were able to walk the dog. That dog we also treadmill trained, which was fun. And if anybody wants to see it, whoever's not on my Facebook page already, if they're joining me from Remember Me Rescues, up in the upper, I'm going to say it's the right hand corner. I'm not sure how it looks on your screen. Is a QR code that if you scan that will take you right to my Facebook page, and just like or follow my Facebook page, and you get to see any of the updates that I do a lot quicker. And again, that would help you guys out if you have any questions after the live. Reach me directly. Um, Michelle gets a lot of Facebook comments, and I try to keep up with them as best as I can, but sometimes it's hard on hers where it's easier on mine. So for the people on Remember Me Rescues page, go to that QR code, scan it, takes you right to my Back to Basics page. Follow or like my Back to Basics page, and will be easy. It'll be easier for us to keep in touch with each other, if that makes sense. So, guys, any questions? I haven't seen any questions coming through yet, so this may be a short Saturday morning for us all. So, again, if we watch Will's video, which I took down now, the key takeaway is it wasn't Ace doing anything wrong. It was Will realized it was his energy had stopped the whole process, regroup himself to help Ace move forward. And once we can learn to do that, yes, on my YouTube channel, I have that playlist, How to Leash Train My Dog in 5 Easy Steps, which is mastering the walk. And each of those 5 episodes is extremely important to succeed in every step. But I've had people tell me they've got to the threshold, dog does really good going out, but once it's outside, it just goes back to being super excited. Stop the process. Stop it. Bring the dog back to you. Sit. Wait for the calm state of mind. Take your deep breath. And when you're ready, go. No conversation with the dog. That's one of the things I'm having a hard time with people. When we're teaching walking, is they turn around to the dog. Okay, let's go. Well, one, that's excitement, so we don't want to do that. But also try to think more like a dog. A pack leader, an alpha dog, when they're ready to start traveling, is not going to turn around to the pack and use words. They're just going to get up. Their energy is going to tell everybody, follow me, because they're calm, confident, and they follow. You don't need the words. The words make us feel good, but it actually sends a mixed signal to the dog. So the quieter, the better. You can use your discipline sound and your reward sounds. Those are good. Once you get into the habit of walking well with the dog, then when the dog starts pulling a little bit on the structure part of the walk, you can start using a basic obedience command of heel and bring the dog back to your side. So every time you say heel, you bring it back to your side, and your dog learns that, oh, I hear that sound, I come back. That's a basic obedience sound. The other thing I want to reiterate that I know I've talked about before is, guys, there is a huge difference between obedience and behavior. Don't confuse the two. I can't tell you, almost every email, text message, Facebook message that I get from customers, my dog is good. They sit, they listen, they stay, blah, 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 blah. But this is the issue. Behavior is the state of mind. And if once we learn that, again, going back to the two of the four C's, the calm confidence that you need to have, that changes your dog's state of mind to the same thing, calm confident. I worked with a boxer this week, insecure, insecure, um, insecure and bossy. Um, and what we had to do is break the dog's insecurity to have confidence when I was handling the leash. And I'll tell you this one thing: this puppy who was, I think, 6 months old right now. One of the things I picked up, like Jack Quick, was the place. And when I put her in place, I noticed her confidence go, because it was a safe zone for her, almost like a crate should be. Nancy says that's a, that's the thing I have a lot of problems with, telling the difference. Yeah, it's hard. You really have to become in tune with your dog, and you'll see it. Look for the slightest things. Usually, you can tell in the body language. If the body language is sitting because they're obedient, but very stiff, the mind's not calm. If she's sitting and she's looking around all over the place, she's not calm. The body language gives away a lot. It's looking at it and understanding what are they saying, and when you see it, and I quote the Oprah aha moment, that's what you get. You get that, oh my God, that's what I was looking for. And in that video, I hope you were able to see that with Ace. If you looked at Ace's body language, it was real, real calm. I've trained my dogs to be calmed down with just a finger point. Perfect. It calms them completely. Sounds crazy, but it always works. Hey, if that's what works, that's what works. One of the things I tell people, dogs who are not in a calm state of mind will not go into a look down or a lay down position. Why? It puts them in a vulnerable spot. They're vulnerable when they lay down. So when your dog is laying down is a good indication that the mind is calm. I think I told you guys I worked with a dog, part Pyrenees mountain dog. It was a big dog, puppy. Um, and overly excited, would run around the yard, want you to play the chase game with it. And I just didn't say a word to the dog. I just said, "What?" No, I did say sit. But first, I had to get the dog's attention when it was doing this back and forth thing. And I just kept checking my own energy. And eventually, the dog stopped running, was looking at me, looking at me, looking at me, didn't say a word. I just said sit. And then I didn't say it again. And I waited. I think it was a her. Yeah, I waited her out. And once she sat, good. Because when I got her from that standing, what are we doing? What are we doing? And her mind started going, you can see the switch. And when she sat, she was calm. Now, if she's sitting there like this, she's not calm. But she sat and instantly went and started panting. That tells me the mind is calm. And what did I do? I rewarded her for that state of mind. I said, good. And I just turned around and walked away. And the beauty with her was she was like, oh my God, that makes perfect sense. And then she just started following me off leash around the yard. Um, I thought she was being calm when she lays down when the other dogs approach, but now I have realized that I'm going to spring. Yes, if you get close. So one of the things I tell people, yes, laying down, I just kind of said it means they're calm. How they lay down is a better indication. I apologize because I misspoke there. If they're laying down and their front paws are straight out in front of them, the back paws in line with their body, almost like they're in a starting block of a race, they're not calm. And like you said, Nancy, she's ready to spring. She's ready to take off out of those starter blocks. Laying down on their side is more relaxing. So that's the key. If they're in an upright position on basically, like say on their elbows, and the head is high, they're not relaxed. And you're 100% correct. Only thing I can't change with the abuse pup collie is she will run in a tight circle over and over again. I know that's excitement, but she's OCD. Any suggestions? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, my suggestion would be when she runs in the tight circle, especially if she's on a leash, make a correction. Break that cycle. I've seen dogs do that. One dog I'm working with right now, when I really start getting into more of the structure, it kind of doesn't know what to do. So it has all this energy, and I'm saying, no, you have to be calm. And he starts chasing his tail. And what I do is, as long as he's on the leash, I'm able to make a correction. Nope. And then again, when he's calm, I praise. I don't praise the stop of the chase. I praise the state of mind, which is when they get calm. A lot of people, when they deal with these nuances, will when they stop the twirling, they praise. But that doesn't mean that's the time to praise. The praise is always when the state of mind is where you want. So what I would do is, if you have the leash, she starts. Yeah, she starts spinning, pop, firm, calm but confident. Nope, no, hey, whatever discipline sound you use. And I always say, give them something else to do. So when I stop these unwanted behaviors, I usually tell them to sit, and then I wait till I see that mind change. And it could go from a 4 to a 5. That's a change to me, guys. I'll praise it. I don't wait for them to go to a 5 to a 1, because I gotta let them know even that little bit of a change is good. And then next time it should go from 5 to 3 quick. Raise again. 5 to 2 quick. 5 to 1 quick. And then by the time they get there, it's over. But it's okay to disagree or discipline to teach them how to turn that no into a yes. And that's what training should be about. Did that. It's it's at a high speed, just afraid she will hurt herself. Doesn't really do it on a leash. So she doesn't do it on the leash, and she's just doing it whenever. One thing, when you see some of these quirky behaviors, a lot of times I think the dog is mentally frustrated. You said she's a collie, so she's a herding breed type of dog. Maybe you can come up with a game for her that helps her with some of that excited energy. One of the games you can teach a herding breed dog is how to play soccer. Set up a little goal, get a ball. They can't bite the ball. They have to push the ball into the goal. They do, yay, yay, yay. It burns off some of that herding instincts. It's a lot of fun for the human too. But if she's not on a leash and she does that, a couple things you can try is, one, using your body language energy. Get up, nope, clap your hands, do something to unlock the brain. Because when she's doing this, she's not hearing much of anything else, just the. So the clap of the hands should unlock the brain. And if you do it, you do a clap at the same time. No, you stopped her. Great. Now what you can do is maybe grab her collar, not grab her collar, just hold on to her collar and work her through. I raised, I was raised with collies and shepherds. Doesn't register. What doesn't register? Playing soccer? I'm not sure what you meant by that. Um, if you if you go at it with the right approach, and again, it's a body language. You're standing tall. You're proud of yourself. My running joke when I'm training is, I make my 6'5" frame 7 foot tall when I'm working with the dog. Why? Because it's an energy I'm trying to put out there. Well, I'm not trying. I'm putting out there. Um, I would do that. If not, and I know this is a controversial thing, but guys, it's really not if used properly. You take a bath towel, you roll it up, nice and tight. Put some rubber bands on it, and when I say tight, you want it have some stiffness behind it. It's a towel, never going to hurt the dog. And when she starts doing this, you can throw the towel at the same time as saying your discipline sound. That will unlock her brain. Remember, when they're doing these unwanted behaviors, be it the twirling, the zoomies, the leash reactivity, whatever it is, their mind is focused on that. Um, she was hit on the head constantly as a puppy. You're thinking it could be? It could be. I'm not a vet. I would talk to a vet about that. Um, it still just sounds like an abundance of energy. The more structure, of course, you can give her, the tireder she is, the less the odds of those things happening. Again, if it's truly a neurological disorder, there's nothing really we can do. We can just try to guide them through it. Um, I don't know enough to say about that part of it. But from a behavioral point of view, these unwanted behaviors, these quirky behaviors, a lot of times it's mental frustration. They need something to do. That's why I like the structure of the walk I set up, which is, based on elementary school classroom, which is the healing process, recess, which is, okay, now you have the full leash, smell pee poop, um, smell pee poop, do whatever you want to do within reason, and then back to classroom for the structure. The more you do structure with dogs that have these quirky behaviors, be it the zoomies, the spinning, if you do two good structured walks a day, and I just do that, um, it's you'll see some of these unwanted behaviors just naturally go away because mentally they're so tired they're not going to have the energy to do it. That's that is different than puppy zoomies, right? Trixie gets zoomies when she gets excited, runs around me while she is on leash. Yeah, it's two different things. But again, it's two different things, but it's the same. It's the mind. It's the excited state of mind, and it takes effort to break it. And again, I'm going to go back to the video, and if you guys want, anybody who hasn't seen it, I'll cue it up again. Um, if you look at Ace at 14, 15 weeks old, he's in a calm state of mind. But Will is constantly working. It's a 24/7 job. But he's working on it. Why? Because he knows that Ace is probably going to be a 100 to 125-pound dog. He wants to make sure he has full control. I mean, his ultimate goal is totally off leash. But you work on it. And every time that excitement comes out, when they make the decision to get excited on their own, you need to disagree with it. You need to. A dog should only get excited when you ask them to be excited. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be excited when you come home. They should come be excited when you come home, but still have clear boundaries on what they're allowed to do. Yeah, yeah, you're home, you're home, you're home. Don't jump on me. You can bring me a toy, that's cool. But when I say don't let them get excited on their own, don't let them at any point get to the point of excitement where they're going to get in trouble. Good morning, Jackie. All right, let me cue up the video again. Let me see if I can do it. There is no sound in it, so just be patient with me. Um, I'm going to cue this up again. I got to start it over. I don't know if you guys are seeing me going crazy here, but so here's the video. I'm going to pull myself up here too. Um, and basically, what Will's saying here, because I know the sound's not working. Um, Eventually, he's going to pan down, and here's the puppy, if you can see him. That's a 15-week-old puppy, guys. Short leash. Will's body language is very relaxed. Will is very calm, but he had to regroup himself because at the beginning wasn't the problem, if that makes sense. So you can see by Will just staying calm, realizing it wasn't Ace's fault, it was his fault, things changed quickly for him. I think the video is almost over. It's just him talking. He didn't really show the dog enough as far as I'm concerned. Um, Joy says, had her for several hours before she went to a breeder. When I got her back from the breeder, it was totally different pup, and the breeder had her for only 2 months. That this this what happens when you do a favor for someone and it goes wrong. Never again. Absolutely. You know what's best for the dog, and it's unfortunate that these things happen. But the good thing is, guys, and I've said this, and Julius, and this is something we all need to remember: don't live in her past. You can't correct her past. You can't correct what the breeder did to her for the 2 months that she had her. You can't. Stop living there. Stop worrying about what the breeder did or didn't do. Know that today is a new day and it can change. And I know for a fact that if you give a dog proper leadership today, no matter what their past was, they will follow. That's what they're looking for. They live in the moment. We need to learn to live in the moment. Um, and that's why I said, and Jackie, I know you would ask me the questions. I hope you heard some of my answers. Um, that's why I say it's okay if we master getting the leash on the dog, master the threshold, but then the dog, once we get outside, gets excited. It's okay to stop, live in that moment, regroup. When we get the state of mind calm, we continue. But you're always going after the state of mind. And it's hard, guys. She's so much better now. Good. Just keep putting in the work. She's going to get it. You can pet her on the head now. She doesn't cower anymore, which is beautiful. But the one thing I would definitely suggest, yeah, one day at a time. One thing I would definitely suggest, and I suggest to anybody who, when the new people meet a dog, always pet on the chin, never go over the top of the head, guys. And you're allowed to say that to people that meet her. I mean, Collie's a beautiful dog, so everybody wants to probably pet her. Reminds me of Lassie. Well, maybe I'm dating myself by saying that, but um, they're beautiful, beautiful dogs. People want to pet them. We got to educate people not to pet dogs on top of their heads, especially at first meet. Always go under the chin, lift their head, build the confidence. When a dog does this, they're not confident, but when they do this, they're confident. So by assisting them, by rubbing their throat area, for a lack of a better term, you'll see it'll go like this, and they'll slowly raise their head, and they're like, "Yeah, this is cool." And you're allowed to tell people that. Same way you're allowed to tell kids, "Do not pet my dog unless you ask permission," or adults sometimes too. Um, but nothing will be fixed day one. Joyce, you're taking all the right steps, and it's a day by day procedure. But don't live in the past. Don't worry about the past, because if you have in your mind whatever this breeder did every time you go out, your energy is not calm, confident. My energy when I deal with dogs that were in an abusive situation is always calm, confident, because I need them to follow that calm, confident energy. Have confidence in me that I'm never going to put you in a bad situation ever again, no matter what happened in the past. And like I said, guys, I personally had dogs that when I first met them wanted to kill me because their mindset was, "I'm going to kill you before you kill me," and I moved them forward because I never worried about what happened yesterday. I never understood patting on the head, always under the muscle. Absolutely, absolutely. But again, you see people all the time. They go like this. You're allowed to stop them. It's your dog, your wolf. But do it with calm confidence. People follow. They eventually get it. Oh, absolutely. But as soon as you raise your hand to pet her, she would cower. My first abuse dog surely won't be my last. Yeah, and when you're dealing with an abused dog or a scared dog or an insecure dog, whatever word we want to put on it, my best suggestion, and I will always say that, is go slow. Don't rush any of the processes. Literally take it one baby step at a time to help build the confidence. If you flood them with things that make them insecure, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. I don't like when trainers do that. If they have an unwanted behavior based on their insecurity, their fear, their abuse. Don't discipline the fear. So if I'm dealing with a fearful dog that's cowering, I'm not going to pop my leash and say no. I'm just not going to do it. Reason being is that's not going to help them move forward because, whoa, I'm scared and that didn't feel good. So now I'm more scared. I just the more insecure they are, the more scared they are, whatever word we want to put on it, the calmer I become and the more confident I become because I need that dog to trust me 1000%. And that's why personally I like the challenge of the insecure dog, the scared dog, because you can move them forward. My girl resource guard is more frequent now, but I won't give up. Yeah, don't give up. And resource guarding is one of the things I really have a hard time talking about on this live platform because the ways to do it can get you hurt and the dog hurt. So it's really hard for me to have that conversation. But when I do go up to New York, I am working with a dog that is resource guarding. It will be videoed and probably maybe some of the sessions live, put out there live. Live is always better because there's no cutting, no interruption. This is what it is, and this is reality, and that's what people need to see is the reality of what we do. I do as a trainer. What you need to do, it's live is so much better. But resource guarding, anytime you deal with resource guarding, you have to stay safe. Um, just I'm all for if a dog is resource guarding, putting an anchor into a wall or something and tethering their leash to the wall, knowing that now, okay, this is as far as this dog can go. I'm safe if I stay behind this line. And now I can stay there, keep my body language calm, confident, and work them through for whatever reason resource guarding is there. Resource guarding to me, guys, is a lot of times it is a fear-based type of reaction. I don't know why. That's just in my mindset. I'm not saying that it's 100% right. I'm sure there's veterinarian behaviorists that will disagree with me. But most of the times I've dealt with resource guarding, in my opinion, it's more fear based. And that's because when they first started guarding things, and they will do that as puppies, and we yell, scream, bitch, and moan. And that reinforces their insecurity, creates, a lot of these issues. It's again, we don't know how to handle it, so we handle it as if we're dealing with a human, but they're not human. Same way, most shelters, in my opinion, are filled with dogs that were overly excited, and people just didn't know how to deal with it. And then you get some people that handle the overexcitement with the wrong energy that created aggression. Same thing, insecure dogs bite more. And that's because people don't know how to guide them through the insecurity to show them they don't need to be. So, Jackie, when you're dealing with it, you're guiding her through the insecurity. It's no different than guiding a child who has a fear of the dark. You're guiding them through it. And you have to have that mindset. Be aware that, unlike a child, a dog can hurt you more. It looks like fear. She started the past 6 months. She is now 13 months old. So yeah, so she was about 7 months old when she started it. That is a fear stage in the puppy's stages of growth. 7 months is when they're trying to really figure out, where do I stand in this pack? And if we make the mistake when they're trying to figure out where they stand in the pack, am I the alpha, am I the middle, am I the back of the pack, whatever it is, and they're trying to figure it out, and then they do something, and we get angry, we get frustrated. They're going to take that and say, you are not that confident pack leader I need. I need to take the job. I don't want this freaking job, but I'm going to take it because you're not it. She will be 3 in 3 months. Yeah, just work her through it, guide her through it, but be safe. And that's what I'm going to show you guys when I'm up in New York. This is going to be videoed every day, at least once a day. I'll be posting. Hopefully, if I mentally can do it, post a video, maybe do a live one here and there. The live ones are not going to be scheduled, so you'll probably end up catching it on the replay. And I will be posting it on Michelle's as well. But again, guys, if you're on Michelle's Facebook page, in the upper right hand corner, there is that QR code. That will take you directly to my Facebook page. Scan it, follow my page, like my page. This way, if I do a video, I may forget to post it on Michelle's. You guys get to see it. And if you have any questions, you can private message me or message me directly. It's a lot easier to reach me through Back to Basics than Remember Me Rescue. Like I said earlier, Michelle gets so many comments, so many messages. It's overwhelming. Where are you putting your recent videos? I have trouble finding recent ones. I haven't done any. Your husband and daughter want her gone. Jackie, did we talk about possibly doing a training session? Because we got to work them through that too. I don't remember if you said when I come up to New York. I haven't posted any new videos recently. I'm trying to figure out ways to record when I'm on sessions. It's hard. But everything's on my YouTube channel. I'm going to switch that QR code right now so anybody who's not on my YouTube channel can get to my YouTube channel. So the QR code I just put up there right now, guys, is a direct link to my YouTube channel. If you scan that, it'll take you right to my channel. Make sure you subscribe. And there's something, I think, a little bell or something when you do this that will notify you when I do post new videos. This way you can be up to date. Yeah, Jackie, even if we have to do a Zoom training, it's definitely more economically efficient. Just so we can really hash out what's going on where I can't do that so much here. Because when you're typing, I'm talking, a Zoom definitely makes it a lot easier because we're having actual communication. Zoom sessions to anybody are definitely more economically efficient, and I can reach people around the country, around the world. It's $75 for a 2-hour session. So, guys, if you're interested in something like that, where I'm focused one-on-one on your specific issue. Right now, Jackie, I'm helping you with yours. I'm helping Nancy. I'm helping everybody who's asking questions. So I'm not focused 100% on you. If we do a Zoom, it is 100% focused on you and your needs and your dog's needs, and really tuning into how I can help you get the energy you need to help her move forward. Because remember, guys, I talk about it. Training is a journey. We go on it together with our dogs, and it should be an enjoyable journey, not a stressful one. But it comes from one, honestly looking inside of yourself and checking your energy. And when you're dealing with family members, them checking it. When you're dealing with guys, more so than women, have them check their egos at the damn door. Women, more so than men, check the nurturing instincts at the door. Because none of those are going to help your dog. Testosterone doesn't help, estrogen doesn't help. What helps your dogs, guys, is my 4C's of dog training. Calm confidence, consistency to get the control. And they will follow that to the end of the earth. It doesn't matter what their issues are. And like I said, I use the same energy if your dog is overexcited, if your dog is scared, if your dog is truly aggressive. And there are many truly aggressive dogs out there. But that energy is what helps them move forward. We go on this journey together. So, with that being said, guys, with the magic 45-minute mark, we're going to be wrapping this up soon. Unless, of course, there's more questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions while I'm going, that pop up before I finish my closing monologue. But as always, thank you for inviting me into your homes each and every Saturday morning. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here with you guys. Remember, for those of you who want a little bit more, I'm having fun with the training. Great. Trixie is doing so much better. Our neighborhood, and we are starting to go off now. She still pulls and is distracted then. Well, again, Nancy, let me know when you want me to come there. We can definitely help you focus on a specific issue, which is so much better now than when I first usually walk into people's homes and I get a plethora of issues. If there's one specific issue, that we can just focus on for the whole 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever I'm there, I'll be definitely willing to do that with you. But as I was saying, guys, for those of you who can't get enough of me, why I don't know, but if you can, remember I do this every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time as well. So please share my page, share with these videos with your friends and neighbors and family members around the country and around the world. The beauty of doing the live is it goes all over the place. So please share my information. Let's get more and more people on here. The more and more people we get, the more and more questions we can answer. So with that being said, as, yeah, hopefully before I go up north, I'm planning on leaving to go up north April 16th, just so you have an idea. Um, as always, guys, thank you for inviting me into your homes. It's truly an honor and a privilege. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll see you either Tuesday or next Saturday.